right then, let's get started. Let's address this opening ritual to the ethereal community. Welcome, all you Essenes, and welcome, all you Magdalenes, and welcome, you children of the sun. We are the keepers of the Grail, and together we are the Holy Grail. And now let's bring in these physical beings. And let's see who's here. Welcome, Pauline of Canada. Yay. Welcome, Catherine Ann of the Universe of Wholeness. Good to have you. And Jimmy, welcome, Jimmy of Minneapolis. Good to have you, brother. Welcome, Aloha Bonnie of Cottonwood. Good to see you. Welcome, Jan Dieter of the Eshtar Command. Yay. Welcome, Ruby of Surprise. Hey, welcome, Allah of Cornville. Good to see you, brother. And we have Heather. Welcome, Heather of Litchfield. And Suzanne of Ontario is off video. We're so glad to have you.
I'll be only
Chris,
listening for a while, okay?
okay. Thank you for
Thank you
that.
so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, glad to have you here, Suzanne.
Thank you.
Also, welcome Christy of Mount Carmel, off camera, but very present. And Ian. Welcome, Ian. Thank you for being here. I don't know, how can you hear me okay, or should I put in my earbuds? It's okay? No? Earbuds? Let's try earbuds.
I can hear
No.
you fine.
So let's try this now. Sometimes earbuds are worse, who knows?
Yeah. No,
Okay.
I can hear you fine too.
Okay, good. Let's go with that.
Yeah.
All right. Let's turn to Catherine Ann and get an attunement to start us off, get our hearts in the right place.
Okay. Like we usually do, center in your heart. And allow your heart to welcome you. To welcome you openly. And to welcome you almost like you would welcome a newborn baby. Your heart experiences you like this all the time. So send gratitude to your heart for welcoming you, for always leading you, and for being the portal to your interdimensional access and reality. Calling in your own councils of light and those of Anna, her councils of light, the Magdalens, the Essenes, and all of the characters from the books, inviting them to be present, guiding each one of us in that ability to unfold into higher frequency as we keep moving through the wisdom being imparted in these books. Give permission for all of your being, all of your cells, all of your DNA, all of your organs, all of your bodies to receive this upgraded frequency, an upgraded DNA that is essential on the ascension pathway. Welcoming and giving permission, if you so desire, for the assistance of all of these unseen realms to each one of us who are walking this path. Giving honor to the characters and those that have put themselves out there in all kinds of even perilous ways throughout this journey that Anna and the characters are sharing. Just contemplate for a moment how much they risked in their lives to bring us this story and this wisdom. And they're asking us to do the same in whatever way is appropriate in our particular lives, to not stay in the background, but as more becomes clear, to step out, being the Magdalens that we are invited to share who we are in the appropriate situations. So they just are asking us to contemplate what they had to go through in their lives. And again, to remember that we are the future selves of these Essenes and Magdalens, and in some case, these family members. So bless yourself, honor yourself, and acknowledge yourself for taking this journey. So be it.
Wow, thank you, Catherine Ann. Yeah. Thank you for bringing in our newborn babies, open hearts.
Yeah.
And when you mentioned our the upgraded DNA, I want to just say that our fellow group member Christina from San Luis Obispo is getting tested today at Stanford for the diagnosis of cancer in the bone marrow. So she's going through extensive testing today. So let's keep her in our hearts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big day for her. All right. Well, very appropriate attunement as we're at the end of chapter 37. The storm gathers, and everything flips from the happy crowds listening to Yeshua and seeing miracles to chaos and fear throughout the city. So wow, we're going to experience that today. So in this newer version, I have page 238 at the bottom.
281.
Thank you. 281 in the older version. Thank you. Okay. Uh-oh. Looks like I got to go back. Okay. We're going to go slow today. There's a lot of powerful paragraphs. Okay, we left off at as the last months passed, but as usual, we'll go back one paragraph because just for context, it's about Judas Iscariot. So we get to, go back one paragraph and find out his relationship with Mary of Bethany and just about his character. And then we'll move on, into the storm gathering. Okay. All right, raise your hand if you're not there. And the one paragraph we are going to start with starts off, few knew of Judas's inner nature. That's where we're going to start. That's the backing up one. Raise your hand if you're not there.
That's on page 285 in the old book.
In the old book, 285.
Yeah, I thought because I wasn't here last week. I thought we were at the beginning of this chapter.
Oh, okay. Okay, so the old book is 285.
285 is the old book, and it should the last week's the one before today's one, which started at few knew of Judas.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's where we're going to start. Few knew of Judas's inner nature. Well, we know now because we got to study his relationship with his father, and all the whole political zealotry that ran in that family. And we're kind of all sensing the meanness, right? And the political arguing, and that's what he came from. That was his family. All right, then. Let's start with, Catherine Ann, you're the top of my screen. If you don't mind giving us the first two paragraphs.
Are we starting with few knew?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
Few knew of Judas's inner nature, his restlessness, his need for recognition, especially by his father, and his sensitivity to things beautiful. Few ever read or heard his eloquent psalms, poetry, and discourses. There was one, however, who had won his confidence during his youth and young adulthood. In those years that Mary Magdalene visited Qumran, she became his enduring friend. Judas looked upon Mary as an older sister in whom he found a sanctuary of peace. In her presence, his sensitive and emotional inner self could be soothed and appreciated. They found in each other someone who could understand their propensity to feel emotion deeply. In later years, after Judas died during a bout of reoccurring suicidal depression, Mary shared with me some of Judas's remarkably passionate psalms to the beloved and odes to nature as a memorial to his courageous loyalty. As the last months passed, Judas had become slowly yet increasingly aware of the devastating yet imperative role that he was to play, that was his to play. All of the inner circle disciples knew that the public demonstration of the archetypal hero and villain required Yeshua to be publicly betrayed and put to death in order to demonstrate the resurrection of the body and the eternality of life. Unlike the secret rites hidden within mystery school initiate chambers, Yeshua and his close companions would openly reveal the rite of the sepulchre. Some of the disciples had enacted the role of Set, or Satan, the betrayer, in their Egyptian initiations, and knew any of them was qualified to play that role now.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting, Catherine Ann, that through their initiations, they were all like shown that there was a role of Set or Satan, the betrayer. Isn't that interesting? So they all kind of knew. They didn't know who, but they knew something in that realm was going to be part of it. Wow. Wow. So they did know ahead of time. Some of them knew ahead of time. Wow. I can imagine them looking around at each other going, is it you? Is it me? What the heck? Okay, let's go back and see if there's any comments or anything underlined on those two paragraphs.
I have one.
Oh, good.
In their training, they all went through, similar training. It wasn't just Yeshua or just certain ones that had training. Some of them went further than others, for sure. But part of that training is to embrace and get the wisdom of all aspects of self within, including the betrayer, including Satan. So they were all initiated into dealing with those parts of their own shadow. So that's why any one of them, it was pointed out, any one of them could take on that role externally because they all had to deal with it internally.
That's a really good point, because it's going to be said today's reading that the know thyself is absolutely essential. And what you just described is the internal aspects, the archetypes, betrayer, all kinds of archetypes, rescuer, hero. Yeah, all that is in us, right? And so we get to know it's in us so we don't project it outward. I think that's part of our reading today, is to really go inside and see these parts. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, we got some heavy stuff to go through today. Thank you, Catherine Ann. Any other comments? Uh-huh. Okay, then. Actually, it starts right now. These next, like, at least 4 or 5 paragraphs, we're going to go really slow. Really powerful stuff coming up. So, one paragraph at a time. Let's start with Jimmy. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Thomas. I
Yeah,
believe I'm starting with all the disciples.
that's correct.
Oh boy, the
Hmm.
full starting team.
Hmm.
All the disciples, whether they had taken few or many Essene initiations, were to some degree familiar with the betrayer. Yet as all, save Judas, searched their hearts to see if their lot was cast to be the despised one. No answer came. No one knew for certain those last weeks, except Yeshua, Mary Magdalene, and Judas, who would be the catalyst to lift the curtain and call the cast to begin acting our parts upon the center stage.
Hmm. Yeah, let's
Keep,
take a
keep
look.
going.
Yeah, no, let's wait a second. Let's see if anything comes up in that paragraph that wants to be shared or
Perfect.
talked about. Yeah. Yeah. So like Catherine Ann was saying, they went through a lot of initiations, so they were brought into the depths of what was going to happen. Any comments on that paragraph that Jimmy just read? The despised one, in quotes. But Yeshua knew, Mary Magdalene knew, which is Mary of Bethany, and Judas says it says that Judas knew that he would be the catalyst to lift the curtain and call the cast to begin acting our parts. Wow, upon center stage. Wow. That's a role. Someone had to kick it off. So we're going to go through that step by step. We're going to feel it all. Let's go ahead, Jimmy. Let's do the second paragraph.
Excellent, Thomas. And I had a simple question.
Mhm.
Have we gotten to the part where Judas was having this verbal argument with I don't understand part?
That
Or is
seems
that
like it was last week.
I think it was last week.
Yeah.
I think we're getting at the root cause of the I don't understand part
Yeah.
within this environment. Because there are times when you are chosen to be the starting player on the field and you go, I'm all ready for this. And it's like, nope, I can't do it. But we all feel that when we're called upon at some point, there's a snap and you say, you know what? I'm the best person for this job. And everything that I lived for before is preparing me for this. And somehow that's part of this beautiful mosaic of bringing these personalities together. He was the person probably least that you'd have thought to be chosen for that position, but he was chosen anyway. Mm-hmm. And then afterward, it's like a lot of the things in life. It makes sense when you're there doing the job and doing it to the best of your ability, but you don't know it when it's happening. Mm-hmm. So that trust in going in and amongst the friendship that they all must have had is super impressive.
Yeah. Well, Jimmy, you bring up a good point. I do not understand is like a lack of confidence. It's a lack of knowing his own self, which is what Catherine Ann brought up as knowing the parts of ourself, knowing the aspects of ourself. That's what we're doing, learning who we are, having that confidence of who we really are. Yeah, not the personality, right? But the truth of who we are, true identity. Yeah.
It's amazing. People can tell the trueness in your voice and your face when you've got that part down and you just know it.
Yeah.
And as a complete sideline to this,
there you go.
Our friend Maggie has talked me into volunteering in my retirement here. And I'm attempting to volunteer to teach younger guitar players how to play at Alice Cooper School of Rock and Roll. And I'm not certain if the youngsters are quite ready for the volume that I'm going to subject them to, but I got to believe that once Judas believed in his heart that he could go out there and hit that note, he was going to hit it better than anybody else. And it was going to resolve a lot of parts in his life. So I like that part. So I'll keep going anytime.
Okay.
I've got notes written all over here, but yeah.
Let's give us one more paragraph. Yeah.
Yes. Before we can be forgiving of Judas, it is helpful to have insight into his catalytic role. He played the despised betrayer, that part of self most judged and judging, that unforgiving, rebellious, zealous, and cruel one who lurks in the shadows of the human psyche, the inner loathed one, which is in the subconscious that the conscious mind projects outward as the enemy with whom to do battle, that one who maintains the status quo at all costs. After all, it is not convenient for the warrior in duality to have a scapegoat to blame for causing incessant, bitter suffering. Who better to fault and condemn than the betrayer?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you. Yeah. So it's funny, when I first read that first sentence, Jimmy, it said, before we can be forgiving Judas, I said to myself, wait a second, we don't forgive outer. And then guess what? Right away, she starts going, no, it's all inner. All these aspects are inner. In fact, let's look at all those.
Yes.
The despised betrayer is part of the self most judged and judging. So this is all internal aspects: unforgiving, rebellious, zealous, and cruel one who lurks in the shadows of my human psyche. The inner loathed one, there's an inner one, there's an inner condition right there that no one wants to own.
No.
The inner loathed one, which is in the subconscious, that the conscious mind projects outward as the enemy with whom to do battle. Right?
And Thomas, the amazing part about this is before, none of the other 12 wanted to be the betrayer. But as the wheels in motion start to go here, they're finding their own self-confidence in someone who has been chosen to do this position. And they're acting it out and they're going, I'm way behind on this. I got to catch up quickly. So the respect that they're going to give what's going on in front of them will grow commensurately as they see their part in this entire play. This is going to be an amazing time coming up. Woo!
Yeah, and Jimmy, we see our part.
Yes.
Yeah, our part.
Absolutely.
Which is what you said earlier. The light that comes out of us is our part.
It's our part.
Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you, Jimmy. Let's see if there's any comments on that paragraph. Anything highlighted that wants to be reread? How about that one question? After all, is it not convenient for the warrior in duality to have a scapegoat to blame for causing incessant bitter suffering, which is all inward, of course? Isn't it convenient to have a scapegoat? That's how the world operates. So, but we're breaking away from that, right? We're owning it. We're doing our inner work. Anybody else? All righty then. Let's go over to Aloha Bonnie and have her read just one at a time, Bonnie, because these are really rich paragraphs.
Thank you. Have you noticed an aspect of your personality that is reluctant to forgive, holds resentment, and constantly looks for ways to aggrandize its position or conversely make itself insignificant? Do you sometimes feel betrayed when this part of yourself sabotages the manifestation of what you truly desire? When this happens, do you blame and judge others or harshly condemn yourself? These are not comfortable questions to ask oneself. However, to gain self-mastery and to understand the crucifixion initiation that you may be passing through, this kind of inquiry is necessary. Then it becomes possible to take responsibility for your thoughts and emotions as your creation. This is the truth behind the mystery school adage, know thyself.
Let's pause there.
And this is a very revealing paragraph because certainly I have blamed and judged others. It's been a major part of my life for a long time. I've just fairly recently been able to acknowledge and forgive and so on. And I still find that I'm hard on myself. I bump into things and bruise my arms and just a whole lot of little things that my ego is wanting attention by causing me a little pain. And I've been so blessed to recognize that that's what's going on and ask the Holy Spirit to help me, help the pain, whatever. And that's been mostly pretty successful.
Mm-hmm.
But this paragraph certainly speaks to my own experience. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Bonnie, for that vulnerability. And that vulnerability is what opens the door to truth and to growth.
Mm-hmm.
By owning that it is going on inside. I do have these habits. That's the only way it's going to break free is by making it conscious. They run it unconsciously. I like in that paragraph, it gave two different parts. It either constantly looks for ways to aggrandize its position or conversely make itself insignificant. So both polarities are there. We either make ourselves wrong and just berate ourselves, right? Or we do the opposite. We make somebody else wrong. Wow. Thank you, Bonnie. Anybody else on that paragraph? There was another archetype in there, the saboteur. The one that unconsciously tends to screw up everything we want. The saboteur. Anything else? These are not comfortable questions to ask oneself. However, to gain self-mastery, right? And to understand the crucifixion initiation that you may be passing through, this kind of inquiry is necessary. Okay, good. Let's hear from Jan. Hi.
Hey, and this reminds me of the only thing I think I actually remember from Psych 101. In the first day of class, Dr. Hammis, who was an amazing professor, walked in and he says, if you don't remember anything else from this class, remember this. And I have. And he said, always remember you tell people how to treat you.
Mm.
And that's what this is saying. We all tell other people how to treat us. And they do. They obey. No problem.
Right. So if we're bitter and mean, that's what comes back. Right? Or if we're kind and compassionate. I'm sorry, you're muted, Jan. I'd love to hear you. Unmute.
It's frequency.
Okay.
It's not words, it's frequency and
Okay.
intent.
Gotcha. Yeah. So our frequency goes out and sets the tone or sets the
It comes,
yeah.
energy moves in a circle, it goes out, it comes back, and on its way back, it gathers more of the same frequency. So it's going to hit you harder than what you sent out to somebody.
Yeah, thank you, Jan, because it says that there's a sentence right here. It says, then it becomes possible to take responsibility for your thoughts and emotions as your creation. Yeah, we're not victims.
It is your creation. And as
Yeah.
you come to understand that, then you can control it or at least be responsible and not get as upset about it.
Yes, we can own it and get humble and get quiet and then things can shift.
Right.
Yeah, nice. Nice. Thank you, Jan.
Thank you, Dr. Hammis.
Okay, thank you for bringing his wisdom to us. All right, anything else on that paragraph? All right then. Let's so Bonnie, you did two paragraphs, did you, or one?
Just one.
Okay, let's do the second one, Bonnie.
All right. We each have a perfect inner guidance system and an inherent capacity for love and expansion of consciousness. In truth, there is betrayal of self and creator when one ignores or rebels against one's internal intuition, instincts, common sense, and wisdom. From a more expanded perspective, the oversoul or higher self guides the heart's purity of intent to be harmless and assess the soul's readiness for advanced levels of empowerment.
Mm.
And I find that asking for guidance, and I frequently think of it as the Holy Spirit, asking the Holy Spirit for guidance. And I've come to recognize that even though I rarely hear a little voice in my head or something, that because so many areas of my life are going so well, that there's guidance whether I am recognizing it or not. And it just keeps being helpful to ask for it and to know that it's happening whether I feel it or not. So thank you for that.
Yeah. Thank you for saying that. Like, it's being conscious of the guidance. It's having that relationship with the guidance.
Right.
Yeah. Because that first sentence says we each have a perfect inner guidance system and an inherent capacity for love and expansion of consciousness. But I think it goes on to say if we ignore it, then that's where all the problems come up. Wow. Yeah, that's a really powerful paragraph. Maybe we'll read it again. Let's see if there's any comments or anything highlighted that wants to be shared. Anybody have anything? Okay, Bonnie, give it to us one more time. It's a short one.
Sure. We each have a perfect inner guidance system and an inherent capacity for love and expansion of consciousness. In truth, there is betrayal of self and creator when one ignores or rebels against one's internal intuition, instincts, common sense, and wisdom. From a more expanded perspective, the oversoul or higher self guides the heart's purity of intent to be harmless and assesses the soul's readiness for advanced levels of empowerment.
Wow.
And I also am finding that to be true, that I've recognized for a few months that things in my life are changing, and as I'm taking one step at a time and feeling a change here and a change there and another change here and not knowing what to do, but pretty soon what to do presents itself. And so I've been really, really blessed recognizing, okay, this is one of those changes. This is one of those what to do now.
Nice. It's like when we pause and get still, we can actually know what to do. Yeah.
Well, and then, you know, I've been asked to lead one of the Course in Miracles lessons on Mondays.
Okay.
And I've done that for about 6 weeks now and found it to be easier and easier to prepare, and that it's going well, more than I expected. And so that's really kind of the biggest thing. And then yesterday I went to the hospital to visit a friend, and she and I have developed a spiritual bond just recently. And I was just amazed to that spiritual bond became apparent almost immediately when I walked in the room and shared itself real quickly. And we didn't have to say a lot, but I was able to do some things to help her out. And so this higher self guiding me is working really well right now. Thank you.
Wow, Bonnie, it's like you're coming into some higher aspects of yourself, you know,
Yes.
and you're trusting it, and it's happening.
Yes. Yes,
Wow.
and to be some aware of it is just marvelous.
Nice. Nice. Wow, what a great picture of consciousness. You're doing it consciously.
Hmm.
It's happening. Your soul's evolving, coming into parts of yourself you didn't know you had.
Right, right.
You're leading Course in Miracles groups and you're finding new parts of yourself.
Yeah,
Wow. Thank you. Thank you for serving that way.
you're welcome.
All right, let's go over to Heather.
So I want to share a story that just happened to Rick and me. Um, he had not talked to his brother for more than 20 years and was just recently starting to realize maybe he should call him. And we went to a family dinner, and there was a daughter-in-law there, and she said, "You really need to call your brother. He wants to talk to you, and you need to talk to him." You know, so that was like the catalyst. So Rick called him that night, and then we just happened to be going up to Mount Shasta for a conference, and we only could be there for a week, and we got guided not to fly. And it's a 2-day drive. So there's 4 days of driving to be there for 3 days, which we thought was ridiculous. But had we flown, his brother lived in San Francisco. Had we flown, we would not have been able to drive down to see him the 4 hours down to go to San Francisco and see him again. And so it turned out absolutely amazing, very loving, very wonderful, very, they hashed out whatever they were mad about before, it's a long time ago, it doesn't even matter anymore. And so we thought that was just amazing when you get like how stupid it is to drive up there when you can fly. And we both don't fly. And then, oh yeah, oh, by the way, and that happened like 2 days before we went. Oh yeah, now we can go up there and go see him. So it was interesting being guided and listening to your guides.
Nice.
What a beautiful
Also,
flow.
and also in the conference, it was with Cryon. He said that just last week on that particular day was a time that was switching into a new era of forgiveness, and everybody, it's time to heal the relationships that you had problems with, go into forgiveness and all that. And here we were doing that. So by the way, if you have any problems with somebody, it's time to get over it.
Nice. Great story of inner guidance and how it's always working for wholeness. It's always working for wholeness. Wow. And forgiveness. Wow. Beautiful. Yeah. Thank you, Heather. It's funny. I just said those two words together. Forgiveness is wholeness because that's how we come to completion in ourself, by letting stuff go, letting whatever blocks, letting it go. Wow. Good one. Anybody else on that last paragraph? Okay, Catherine Ann.
I know I've shared this before, but in my soul weaving book, I have these 12, I don't know what you call them, keys, basically. And there's one on forgiveness. And the guidance, the download that I had about it, it isn't the way we usually think of it. It's for giving the energy and the love again, because when you're not in forgiveness, you're in withholding and blame. So when you can let go of the blame and give of the energy and your love again, that's what forgiving is. That's what they showed me.
Nice. So it's not about the outer, right? The forgiveness is not about the outer. It's about clearing blocks or clearing what it takes to be whole inward.
Yeah. But whatever issue, that you have with something or someone, it's instead of withholding your energy from them, it's forgiving it once again.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. For clearing it, right? Like cleaning house, right? Inwardly. Yeah.
So it flows again.
Right. And that flow is what Jimmy was talking about earlier about the shining or what comes out of us as confidence.
Yeah.
That changes the world, basically. Yeah. Like the butterfly effect. It actually has more than we have any idea. Yeah, like a smile even sometimes can change somebody's day. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Catherine Ann. All right. Anybody else on that paragraph? I think we read that one twice. Yes. Okay, we did. Now we're at your internal guidance system now. And that'd be Ruby. Can you read for us? Let's just do one paragraph and pause, and then we'll do a second one.
Your internal guidance system often acts as a kind of braking or accelerating system that assists every evolutionary step to be taken at the right time and place. Excuse me. If you are forcing your spiritual growth, your soul slows you down by orchestrating obstacles to be placed in your way. Likewise, if you are resisting being more authentic and true to your power, love, and wisdom, your soul will uncannily orchestrate the necessary factors to have your fortressed life and armored identity topple seemingly overnight.
Mm-hmm.
When you understand that your soul or highest self is the captain of your life, and that you are not a pawn victimized by outside forces, you can become an empowered team player with your life's divine director. Then, listening to and aligning with divine guidance can create more and more grace and ease in the flow of life's constant evolutionary changes.
Wow.
That is powerful.
Yeah, that's a big paragraph. Team player was in there, Jimmy. The team player deal. Man, that we have to look at that paragraph. That is really something.
Yeah.
So what we think of as, victim, like, oh, I can't believe that happened to me, is actually orchestrated. Let's see what it says here. Oh man, we're gonna reread this whole paragraph again, but it's actually orchestrated. Yes, so that we can, well, in different cases, right? Sometimes we need to slow down, so we get like an accident or like a broken leg or something. Oh, this is great. There is no victim. It's all for us. We are orchestrating it, our higher self.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's see if there's any highlighted parts in that paragraph to be shared. Anybody? Your higher self is the captain of your life.
Yeah.
You're not a pawn victimized by outside forces. Okay, good. Heather.
Well, I like it where it said your internal guidance system acts as a kind of braking or accelerating system that assists every evolutionary step to be taken at the right time and place.
There you go.
So, yeah. And if you're forcing your spiritual growth, your soul slows you down by orchestrating obstacles to be placed in your way. That's great.
Exactly. Yeah, so braking or accelerating, both. Our internal guidance system. Wow, good one. Yeah, if you are forcing your spiritual growth, isn't that an interesting statement? We have to go in and get quiet to really sense, am I forcing my spiritual growth? Am I like trying to do this on my terms? Do I think I know what I need and I'm pursuing it on my own? Well, if you go too far that way, stuff happens. In order to support your real growth. Wow, that one hits me. I think I'm a forcing kind of guy. All right, let's go over to Jimmy.
Thank you, Thomas. This particular paragraph identifies with me so strongly because, when we all have crazy things happen. Okay. 78, I broke my neck and it came apart in 80. And I think, how can you have a broken neck that comes apart again? And I was stuck in that for a long time. But at the same time, I was successful in life. And people said, geez, that happened to you and you're okay. I had something else happen at work which destroyed a part of me inside about a year and a half ago. And no, actually longer than that, a little bit longer. And recently, I've been going through some radiation treatment. And so I'm going through the sequence of what part of this test am I missing yet on the coming up part that I need to understand. And this is happening for me at the right time, the right speed, at the right place, because I want to sell my cars. I want to sell all my musical instruments. I want to go back to simple, and I want to travel. And it's that I feel like I need to get back to some of the areas in the world and the friends. And thank you for bringing up about the brother stuff, because my brother's been living in our house for the last 7 months here, and his family's up in Las Vegas. And so I'm getting all these dynamics that are telling me, get the heck out of here and get on with your life. And to be 73 years old and be doing this is crazy. It's just nuts. You know, I thought I'd be doing this in my 20s, you know, but now I'm doing it now, and it's exciting. And thank you for everyone bringing all of this up today. The other bad part about my radiation is that they also inject me with the opposite of testosterone. So I have to have a 0 PSA reading when I'm going for my next checkup. And so I've got all of the estrogen you can possibly imagine in me. So I've got the whole package going, Thomas, and I'm just grateful for being here today. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Jimmy. Getting to look, I wonder if looking back at like your neck injury, if you can put something together that might have shifted since then, like that might have been representing. Is there anything that came up on your neck?
Absolutely. I defied description. I was back at work 45 days after I did it the first time. The second time I had the halo cast with the holes in the head. And every single process going along this, whether it's like losing cars, losing relationships, losing this and that, you know, you learn so much by losing something. We don't learn as much by acquiring something.
What'd you learn about yourself? What'd you learn about yourself through that neck injury?
It's mostly about the purpose, Thomas. It was the first night, the second time on the operation, I was a 360-degree bed. I'm strapped in, I can't move. And the young man next to me in intensive care passes away in the middle of the night. He had a snowmobile accident and had a blood clot lodge in his neck. And I could hear the entire process going on next to me. And I'm going, this is exactly why I'm here. This is what I am doing here right now. So you end up, you know, I'm pushing my button, I'm going through the stuff, and I met his whole family the next day. It was unbelievable. Can you relate that to anybody? No, you can't. But the minute that you ask for something to heal your inside, I believe there's a chance that it could be walking by you or showing up in the room next to you.
Yeah. So maybe you got perspective, especially after having that fellow pass away next to you. You got perspective.
Completely that night. Yeah. I got it delivered. The nurses always took care of me in the hospital. They always do take care of me. I've got great surgeons and doctors, but I love my nurses. So, you know, for those of us that have spent a little time, you know, you learn how to find the value, the foundation of what people are made of.
Yeah.
And it's so nourishing inside. Sorry, I'm breaking up here.
Well, thank you, Jimmy, for sharing that personal stories. Yeah. All right. Anybody else on that paragraph? Anything else come up?
Yeah, I wanted to say something. It sounds like where the two different perspectives here is like it's saying it's trying to show us a balance to, you know, to be in balance, because if you're forcing it or if you're resisting it. So it's, you know, to me, it's like the parts of that is saying be in balance, just be in the flow and be in balance. So.
Yes, balance. Yeah, thank you, because I was looking, I could see the forcing in my part, And then down it talked about if you're resisting to being authentic, that's another story.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's for all of us to come into balance. Yeah. Nice. Thank you, Ruby. Anything else? Otherwise, we'll go over to Christy. Yeah, let's go over to Christy and we'll come back to reading.
I think it's really interesting how in the first sentence she says that crucifixion is actually an expansion, whereas I think we see crucifixion as a death. So you think you would shrink, but it's actually an expansion. And earlier this year, I went through the death and rebirth, and how it says here, everything that limits you will come up for review. I have so many notes on everything in just these 2 pages, because since I personally experienced it, I've reread the book so many times. And I remember when I was reviewing all of this stuff, just everything, I felt like a victim, and I felt so betrayed by so many people. And when it became clear to me that nothing on the outside was going to change, and that the only way that I could change is if I died, I didn't realize that my soul was liberating me until I just read this paragraph. I went through the experience with the light bulb. Like, I know that it happened, but it didn't hit it. It just hit me on the head that you may begin to realize that your soul is liberating you. Duh. To liberate me from these situations where I was a victim, or I thought these people were hurting me, and like, hey, nothing's going to change. Let's get you out of here. Like, no, I don't want to leave. It's like my soul knew what was best because I didn't. Yeah, this was really profound. Thank you for going over this 10 times, and thank you for letting us talk about it.
Yeah. Well, I think you started off saying that your crucifixion turned into an expansion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead.
And Catherine Ann, I ran to get your book. I found the forgiveness little part. If you want to, I can read it if you want.
It's
Sure.
It's huge. It's huge. It's powerful. Yeah. Let's go ahead.
Okay.
Christy.
Forgiveness is the decision and the choice to change your vibration, acknowledging what you were doing is not working and you need to do something different. A good way to look at this is to decide to be in the flow of things. You want things to change for the better. Forgiveness is a frequency of change and of shifting. Forgiveness is a gift of the Creator, so we may forgive ourselves and be forgiven by God, by the universe, by all life for whatever choices we have made in the past. It is the lover, the beloved within, which shifts us into greater acknowledgement and responsibility. When viewing everything as energy, forgiveness is the circuit breaker, which breaks the overload, breaks the stagnation of the old state of being and the old pattern. Forgiveness then allows the system to be reset anew. Forgiveness opens us up to accessing our greater multidimensional field. Although we may not see this or feel this particularly, it is still what is happening. We may feel a sense of peace, a sense of completion, or a sense of moving forward from a stuck place. However, what forgiveness does on a greater level is expand the field for greater possibilities of change to occur and a new platform for manifestations and new creation to occur. I love the first sentence, Catherine Ann. Forgiveness is the decision and the choice to change your vibration, acknowledging what you were doing is not working and you need to do something different. I always view this from a victim mindset, and I never realized that it was me the whole time. It wasn't the other people, that it was me.
Wow. Wow. That's huge, Christy,
Yeah.
to see that, to really go through that. Wow.
Thanks for reading that.
Yeah.
Of course. Thanks for
It's like-
writing it.
Yeah, thanks for
I
that's our
mean-
very own Catherine Ann.
It's like I didn't even, it's like someone else wrote it, because I'm not used to
Aw.
hearing it back. So that was really amazing. Thank you.
Well, thank you. It's so beautiful.
Mhm.
Not
also-
to introduce another book into into this, but Thomas, sometimes, after you put your away screen as the Gospel of Thomas,
Mhm.
and it hit me, don't they have books on the Gospels of, everyone? So I went and bought the big book that has like the Gospel of Mary Magdalene, the Gospel of Judas, like all of them.
Mm.
And I was reading it, and it's so funny because a couple weeks ago I read the part where Jesus tells Judas, like, you're going to be the betrayer, you're going to do it. And now I can't find it to read to you guys. I don't know where it is. But I saw the Gospel of Thomas on there, and I just wanted to tell you, it just made me smile.
So it's playing hide and seek with you then. Sometimes you can find it.
I'm
Sometimes you
telling
can't.
you. I know.
But Christy, part of your share was really, really important. The whole concept of victim consciousness blocks
Yeah.
every kind of growth. It blocks us going forward. It's just a total stop. And the other thing they said that affected me was, if I can see the betrayer, and I call it the betrayer outside of me, great word to take in and go, how am I betraying myself or others? But how am I the betrayer? And all I have to do is stop and just get quiet. And it comes right up like, oh, you're betraying yourself by
Yeah.
not being true at certain situations. And you go, wow, it's always been me.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think of it as staying in a relationship, like with a boyfriend. I know he's not good for me. I know I shouldn't be with him. And I think, why would you hurt me? Why would you do this to me? Well,
Yeah.
you're doing me a favor. Little do I know.
Yeah.
And since I'm so focused on why did you hurt me? Why can't you just be nice to me? Why aren't
Yeah.
things working out between us? Instead
Yeah.
of me saying, oh, this is my sign to move on, I stay
Yes.
stuck. No, like having a temper tantrum. Like, so yeah.
Well, there's a great example of the betrayer, right? Betraying myself by not moving
Yeah.
on.
Right.
So it's all these aspects, all these archetypes are in us, but we have to stop. It's called pull back the projection. That's what they call it. Pull back the projection. And then we're free to grow again, free to go forward into our next level, our next level, our next level. How fun. And the drama, the drama. How could they do this to me?
How could you do this to me? Oh,
It's
it
all
just
part
popped
of
in
it.
my. This just popped into my
Okay.
head.
Okay.
Maybe because we're seeing this 2,000 years later. This is all after the fact.
Mhm.
I mean, these are the Essenes.
Mhm.
They're being counseled by Yeshua. Everyone is studying this. Everyone knows. It's hard for me to fathom, like Anna saying, I don't know if we can do this. Like Judas saying, I don't know if I can betray Jesus, or them saying, I don't know if we're prepared for these roles. And I don't want this to sound wrong, but I see this from the perspective of, well, Yeshua's just going to be crucified. Like, why is everyone else so why is everyone else so bothered by this? Or why are they inserting themselves like, oh, I don't know if I can do this, but I know they're all there to support him. It's just so interesting to see, like Judas says, I don't know if I can do it. Anna saying like, oh, we all felt the fear. I just don't understand. Like, but they knew that they were there to do this thing. Right? I don't know. I don't know how to make sense of it.
We're going to find out in the next few paragraphs that it turned their world upside down, because their personality, their personal self is like, oh no, we're supposed to beat the Romans. We're supposed to be better people over this, not not lose you. I mean, they're all freaking out. It's upside down. And they're like, how can we do this?
Right. But if they all know that his purpose in doing this is to display the rite of the sepulcher publicly, what are they all freaking out about?
We see this 2,000 years later, but put yourself in their shoes. They're like, ah, they're like the drama you just described. Like, I don't think I can do this. This is insane. The whole city's against us. They're going to crucify him, and they're yelling at me. My parents are hating me for liking him. I mean, the whole town's upside down, the whole city, and our personality is going, oh no, I want to be liked and loved, and now this whole thing is going upside down. But we have the ability of 2,000 years later. But they were just human, right? They're just going, I don't think I can do this. This is insane. You're gonna what? And we're gonna sit there and hold you through this? I don't think I can do this.
I don't know. Thank you all.
Yeah. Well, we're going to get into how it flips. The whole city flips in a second. Let's go ahead with Catherine Ann and then Jimmy.
I was just going to chime in basically on what you guys are talking about right now. I mean, we're so steeped in the Christ drama story as a background. I mean, that we've had our entire lives and many previous lives. So if you roll it back to, this is something fresh that was happening in their world and their time with no foundation other than their training laid, if you were to put yourself in their shoes, I mean, you don't know. I mean, this is crazy talk of what Yeshua's talking about or what they're talking about doing. I mean, it's totally nuts, number one. And number two, they have no, other than their training, they have no basis in history. They have nothing to go on other than, is this right? Is this not right? Am I going to be okay? Am I not going to be okay? Is Yeshua going to be okay or not okay? If you just put yourselves in that vulnerable place that they were in, it's earth-shattering, basically. So that's the way I see it.
Yeah, that survival energy kicks in.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, if they know I'm a friend of him, they're going to attack me and my family.
Right.
What am I going to do? Should I run? Should I, how do you trust, like, all of a sudden out of nowhere, like.
And it's all of their very human parts that are being challenged.
Yeah.
Not so much their spiritual parts, although that's in there too, because that's the only thing they have to rely on.
Isn't that interesting that we're the future selves and we have the 2,000 years now to go on, and we can hold it now?
Yeah.
Like we couldn't hold it before.
Right. And some of us still can't hold it now.
Wow, what a mystery. I'm so glad to be doing this with y'all.
Yep.
Okay, let's go over to Jimmy.
Thomas, thank you very much. This particular part reminds me of, you got a dozen players, so you basically got football team and one more. Yeshua's been working with Judas for a while on this. The others haven't been on the inside track. Mm-hmm. So if you're playing a football game, you got your team out there. Mm-hmm. When you're the quarterback, each and every individual is going to do the best at what they do because you've trained them to do that. And so I'm sure each and every one of these went into, as the Essenes went into a community and knew about health, animals, fitness, fabric, history, language that not all of them possessed. And they're out there this is the best team that they have ever seen. But now Yeshua's going through a complete test. He's going out there and getting it all thrown at him at one time. Mm-hmm. And this has got to come out right. And it's like a whirlwind of everyone's emotions floating at once. Mm-hmm. And how Yeshua could have he's been talking to these people for years. He knows exactly how this is going to go. You know, there's going to be that look, like the timing of this, the word of that, this or that person appearing. They're going to accuse me of this. I may or may not have done it, but it's their deal. We're pulling through this. We're going beyond it. We're not stopping. I'm sure, you know, in these last 3-4 days, they've been talking about when you feel the doubt, here's what you do. When you feel this, here's what you think. I know what's going on around. We just, you know, we're seeing this part of the story, which is great. But the little behind the scenes stuff, my imagination is vivid with how Yeshua is keeping all of the individuals on track. And as usual, the women will be the sane ones keeping us calm, Thomas. This is kind of how I'm thinking it's going.
You know, Jimmy, when you were speaking, I realized that Yeshua, and correct me if I'm wrong, Catherine Ann, Yeshua and Mary and Mother Mary were the only two avatars. They're the only ones that really, really got it. Like, everyone else is sort of trying to get it. So we have that going on. So I'm not sure if he was, I don't know. Let's keep going. It's really exciting. Everything's the town's turning upside down. So let's keep reading, unless there's any more comments. Let's do another paragraph, Ruby.
When it is time for the transformational expansions of crucifixion and resurrection, you will be challenged to look at your attachments to beliefs, relationships, and possessions.
Wow, we should stop right there and read that.
Yeah, I was just going through that the other day, looking at that.
Let's read that sentence again, Ruby.
When it is time for the transformational expansions of crucifixion and resurrection, you will be challenged to look at your attachments to beliefs, relationships, and possessions. Everything that limits you will come up for review. You may feel betrayed when your limited identity and world are falling apart. Or, on the other hand, you may begin to realize that your soul is liberating you. When the betrayer, as the catalytic Judas, appears on your threshold and knocks, will you open the door and behold a welcome friend or a foe? Yeshua recognized and welcomed Judas Iscariot as a friend little understood.
Yeah.
Man.
Wow.
Ooh.
Wow. Wow. So guess what gets challenged? It's our beliefs. It's our attachments to our beliefs.
Yeah.
You know, I used to study oh my gosh, I'm having a brain. Well, anyway, she said, I'll get her name in a second. She says there's no belief is true. She bases her work on that. Byron Katie. No belief is true. Now, this is what our attachments are about, our beliefs, one by one, until we're free. Our beliefs keep us connected to the world, the illusory world. So there it is right there, being challenged to look at your attachments to beliefs.
Yeah.
Relationships and possessions.
Yeah. I was just writing about that the other day, looking at stuff, and writing about, in journaling about attachments, letting go of attachments.
Yeah. But Ruby, every trigger can show us our attachment. If we pull back the projection, it's not about outward. Why am I triggered? What's going on? Where's my attachment? And we get it. And we can let go.
Yeah.
So every trigger is an opportunity. How fun, how dramatic, and how fun. Okay, let's go over to Jan Dieter. You're muted.
That is such great wisdom when it addresses attachments to wisdom,
Mm,
to beliefs, relationships, and possessions, because it's describing actually the jail that we have built for ourselves.
mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
each attachment
Yeah.
is one more slat, one more, whatever you call those bars,
Mm-hmm.
until we have built ourselves in a jail that totally surrounds us, lets in no light and no joy. And our lives are run by all of those attachments which do not serve. So I think that is just great wisdom. And as we let go of each attachment, we're breaking down our jail cell and we're on our way to freedom. We
There it
cannot
is.
have freedom while we have all those attachments. Doesn't
There you-
exist.
Excellent. Thank you, Jan. Yeah, so Jimmy Knows is a rock and roll song by the Eagles that say, we're in prison and we don't even know we have the keys. Okay, it's the Eagles and the song's called Already Gone. But, we're not the only ones that know this. But why don't what is up with, we keep that in unconsciousness instead of owning, I made this prison. I have the keys. I can move out of this anytime I want. It's a mystery. What is that resistance? So the whole world, even the rock and roll world, knows that we've made a prison and we don't even know we have the keys. Okay, Jan, unmute this time. There you go.
Because we're constantly being told to not recognize the truth. We're constantly being told by the media, by educational places, by religions, corporations, groups of all sorts, that we should not be free and that we should embrace these attachments. That's the message we get constantly.
Yeah.
But it's changing. Humanity as a whole is breaking free. And that's why you see so many changes on this planet. And that's why you're going to see so many more changes and so much stuff falling apart.
Yeah.
Because we're saying humanity is saying no to being slaves.
Yeah. Exactly. We've been conditioned, is what you're saying.
And we believed. We haven't questioned. We have not questioned.
Because we don't know what it's like to be free. All we know is the prison. Isn't that funny how the ego will hold on to what it knows, even though it's disastrous, versus stepping out into the unknown, which is called trust.
And when people have questioned it, they've been ridiculed, sometimes put to death.
Yeah. Even Socrates was put to death because he questioned the reigning thought of the day, philosophy of the day. So he stood up and look what happened. And so crazy but you're right. We're moving into a new age. Everything's crumbling. Exactly. Everything's changing. The old paradigm's going away so fast.
And those who ran that old paradigm are going away too.
Yeah.
To unpleasant places. Yeah.
Yeah, which is their own self. Yeah, but we're being shown freedom, right? And Anna, thank you, Anna, right, for dedicating herself to showing us freedom. Yeah, training us, conditioning us, like you just were talking about. We were conditioned to prison. She's training us to be free. Yeah. Thank you, Anna. Okay, let's go on over to Pauline.
I just wanted to go back a bit. Know thyself. That is an ongoing lesson in my life. You know yourself at a certain stage, then you get to another level. As I've been going through my past life, with the guidance of my higher self guides, Raphael and Gabriel in particular. And I question, because I have many Judases in my life right now. Many people questioning what I shared with everybody last week. Are you qualified for this? Well, I don't know. Somebody must have thought I was, or that Mother Mary wouldn't have asked me to do these things. Am I qualified to put out a brochure that she wanted? No, because I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. But as I started to ask myself, do I really know myself at that stage and at this stage? That is like, why did Jesus tell me to call him Sahu several years ago when I didn't know what the word meant, didn't know how to spell it. I didn't know anything about it. I had never heard of it. And I'm still wondering why, but now I realize that our past life has so much to do with everybody that's here. Like we've all been together several times, maybe most of our lifetimes, and seeing each other, knowing each other, and especially I know I've been with Mother Mary, perhaps as a pagan. And I haven't given that much thought, but I think that's goes back to many of us where we have been. So know yourself, know thyself is a big deal, I think, in our lives. I think that's a big thing to know. Know yourself today, what you were yesterday, and other lifetimes. For me, it's other lifetimes, which I don't know whether I'll get, how far I'll get onto that.
Well, Pauline, thank you.
That's kind of my big thing.
No, I appreciate you listening to your guidance, right? It's you and your guidance have a relationship, and you're following your inner guidance. It's perfect. Thank you for doing that.
Yes.
Yeah. You're doing great. Okay.
Know thyself.
Know thyself. Have that relationship with thyself, with the inner
But
self.
it's continuous.
Yes.
Just when you think you know yourself,
yes,
there's a new stage that you fall into, a new initiation that you go through.
We should be getting revelations every day because that's the flow. We're in the flow. We're going to get something every day. That's what we're here for. Yeah. Great example of paying attention to our inner guidance. Thank you, Pauline. We're getting closer to out of time, so I'd like to get Suzanne's voice in here. Suzanne, could you maybe, I think we should reread that last one even again. It's when it is time. If you could just read that paragraph one more time, that'd be great.
Okay, thank you. I'll do my best.
Okay.
When it is time for transformational expansion of crucifixion or resurrection, you will be challenged to look at your attachments, beliefs, relationships, and possessions. Everything that limits you will come up for review. You may feel betrayed when you limit your identity and world are falling apart, or on the other hand, you may begin to realize that your soul is liberating you. When the betrayer, as the catalyst, Judas, appears on your threshold and knocks, will you open the door and behold a welcomed friend or a foe? Yeshua recognized and welcomed Judas Iscariot as the friend little understood.
Let's go ahead with one more, Suzanne.
Sorry. Now I remind you, my dear friend, that these understandings, which often run contrary to accepted traditions, are given to you from a viewpoint that is your responsibility to be discerning about what you accept as true and how you will use this information in your life. Without hesitation, receive only what your inner being tells you is aligned with your soul's growth and evolution, and judge not the rest. Put the remainder aside, and perhaps upon taking up my story at some future time, you may find that what used to be Anna's blasphemous and hysterical,
Heretical.
oh, heretical, sorry, saying now have value for you.
Yeah, well, those are in quotes because you could be looked at that way by, zealots or whatever. That's just a funny way of saying other people might look at this as blasphemous and heretical
Yes.
because it's telling the truth about, say, about Judas, for instance.
And I love that it reminds us to use our own discernment in our lives.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you want me to read the last paragraph?
Oh, we just have one more. Yeah, before we do, let's just look at one more. I have something underlined in there. It says, receive only what your inner being tells you is aligned to your soul's growth and evolution. What stuck out for me there is this is a relationship with ourself. This is know thyself as a relationship. So we're going in, we're going, is this right? Does this help me grow as my soul? Is this connecting? That's what this paragraph's asking us to do. Go in and see if it's resonating. And if it doesn't, let it go. No judgment.
Yeah.
No need. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's do that last paragraph then, Suzanne.
I have come in this hour in response to our mutual call to reveal many things that have been concealed and hidden. May you likewise unveil yourself and remember who you are. In the empowerment that occurs through this revelation, may you be increasingly comfortable, relaxed, and vulnerable to your soul's inevitable evolutionary changes. There's need not be suffering during the crucifixion, quote, birth contractions, when your attention is on the caterpillar's true self taking flight as a butterfly. Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful ending.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Suzanne. Let's go on over to Christy.
I just want to point out that the last sentence there need not be suffering during crucifixion's birth contractions.
Mm-hmm.
That is directly correlated to the paragraph before this one that we just read 10 times, where it says the transformational expansion. Because when your soul liberates you, you go through birth contractions.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the same thing. That's what happens. So I wanted to just help everyone make the connection there.
Yeah. Yes. That the transformational expansions might be uncomfortable to the point of calling it like a crucifixion. It might feel like that. It might be like, why me? And then when we get over that, we get to say, oh, now I say, why me? It's for me. All right, we got only a few minutes left. Love to hear. Let's get Allah's voice in here. Do you have the book, Allah? Would you like to read the last paragraph again? You're in your car office.
Yeah, Yeah, getting ready to pull out,
Okay.
get to my massage, which you enjoy.
Okay.
But this has been good. Um,
Last paragraph. I have come.
okay, I got you.
Mhm.
I have come in this hour in response to our mutual call to reveal many things that have been concealed and hidden.
Mhm.
May you likewise unveil yourself and remember who you are in the empowerment that occurs through this self revelation. May you be increasingly comfortable, relaxed, vulnerable to your soul's inevitable evolutionary change. There need not be suffering during this crucifixion, birth, contractions.
Mhm.
When your attention is on the
Mhm.
caterpillar's true self taking flight
Mhm.
as the butterfly.
Wow.
What a great analogy, what a
Mhm.
great representation of what this is all about,
Yes.
I know it has this what we're going through here has really touched my soul,
Mhm.
and in my spiritual evolution.
Yeah.
And I'm happy happy for all the insights that were brought forward
Mhm.
today. Thomas, thank you very much.
Yeah.
It sure has touched me. I haven't said much, but
Mhm.
yeah, it has moved me a bit. Thank you,
Nice.
brother.
Thank you, Allah. And thank you for that, appreciating that analogy of the caterpillar turning into a butterfly, because it's where we put
Sure.
our attention. It's where
Yes.
if we can choose to put it on the death and dying, or we can choose on putting it on the expansion, the butterfly, the
Yeah,
free flight,
what we truly are, our
who we truly are.
entirety, the totality of what we are, not just
Yeah.
limited to our consciousness.
Yeah.
I still used to say consciousness has its limitation. We're beyond that. We're
Mm.
beyond,
Yeah.
yeah, for all of it.
Thank you. Yeah. Beyond it, beyond perception. Wow. All right. Let's go on over to Christy.
Allah, when you reread that and you said, I have come in this hour in response to our mutual call, I felt like it was Anna talking to me. And it was the
Mhm.
first time I realized that there was a mutual call. Anna called to me, but I also called to her.
Yeah.
And it made me, I just had the light bulb moment that what it meant to be a part of the Anna Books study group. And now I know why you guys call it that. So thank you.
Yeah.
And look at all my notes, like everything that I have. I know you guys can't really see, but I have so much written down.
Yeah.
So, I have this story that I wanted to tell you guys. So when I was like 18, 19 years old, I got into a really bad car accident, totaled my car, and I walked away from it. But it really shook my world. And I kind of changed as a person, like who I was. But all of a sudden, I started getting these downloads where I became obsessed with finding out the real story of Jesus. And that
Mm.
was when I first had the call, was this terrible car accident that I had gotten into. I think I like just hit my head so hard that I finally got the call.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, from 2013 on, I started learning more about spiritual things. And I started remembering this past life that I had. So I started researching into past lives. And I know Catherine Ann has studied with Dolores Cannon, but for whatever reason, I was called to read the books of Michael Newton. And he's like the male version of Dolores Cannon in a way. And in one of his books, he talks about how you have a soul family and it's like a beehive. So not all of you from your hive incarnate like into your immediate family. You guys kind of go off, but you have a soul family. And when I read that, this was in like 2018, something leapt in my soul. And I knew that I knew that I knew that I had a soul family. And I became obsessed, literally obsessed with finding this past life family of mine that was my soul family. And through this obsession, it started like morphing into like, I knew you guys were out there and I just had to find you. So I had heard the call so long ago that we were all getting together. And then recently, Thomas, when you mentioned that you and Catherine Ann in like 2022 or whenever, or 22, whenever it was, that you're like, hey, should we do this thing? It was like, I knew it was going to happen. I had heard the call, and I'm so glad that you guys did it. So thank you for being here. I've been looking for you guys for so long. So I'm just so glad to be here.
Beautiful. Thank you, Christy. Wow. You found your soul family. And
my obsession has stopped. I feel like, oh, I got my answer and now I can relax.
And for me, I found my grandmother, which is probably true for all of us. We found our grandmother energy. Wow.
Right.
Wow, Christy, you said that accident shook your world. Exactly what it was supposed to do.
Right.
You weren't a victim to it. It shook your world on purpose.
Right.
Wow. A bump on the head or something.
Yeah. And I was at that time, I was raised in a super Catholic family. So I started questioning, like, how did Jesus die and resurrect 3 days later? How is this even possible? Is this real? And then I started questioning everything about the church, and I went through the whole deconstruction. Mm-hmm. So, but I was like, I know there's a real answer out there. What is it? So.
Yes. And the real is in contrast to what the other stories they made up, which is called, she said, the last paragraph, she said, blasphemous or heretical. So we're going against that grain, that flow to the truth. And we found the truth. And Anna did it with some, some controversy. But she's bringing the truth forth. And she says, just take what you want, leave the rest. I'm taking it all. There's nothing I'm leaving behind. Thank you, Christy. And let's go over to get Sheldon's voice in here. Good to have you here, brother.
Thanks for sharing that, Christy, because we forget that. I mean, I remind myself that it's this importance of contact is with everybody and anybody at any time. Not, this is a different group, like you said, but that, everybody's there for a reason, and we have no clue what's going on here. But to remind me that, oh yeah, you got this group and this group, and it's like, holy cow, it's big. The other thing would you say again the sentence about essentially connecting and labor pains, or not labor pains, but delivery contractions, whatever? What did you say there?
The birth contractions. So when you die,
mm-hmm.
when you get crucified and then you die, in order to be rebirthed, you go to the void, and you get reborn. So just as women experience contractions to deliver a baby, your soul starts contracting to make you reborn, and you feel it. So that's what I meant by that, was in order to experience your soul's birth contractions, you feel it. In order to give birth, you have to contract. You have to have contractions. So when she says, crucifixion is to be reborn, But in order to do that, you have to go through your soul's birth contractions so your soul can rebirth yourself into the new you.
Well, that's really interesting because I had a short period of time where I was going through some stuff spiritually, and at one time it felt like, and I'm not saying this was it felt like I was getting like a new organ. It's just like, what
It hurts.
Yeah. But there wasn't any problem,
Right.
and it was, but it was when you said it was part of something a lot bigger than that relates that. It's just, but that pain I felt, it's like, well, that never made any sense before. I'm not saying it does now, but
Yeah.
I'm closer to thinking it does. That's cool.
Good. I'm glad it resonated with you. Thank you.
So Christy, this is Pauline, and I have the book, The Destiny of Souls. I don't know if that's one that you would for reading or not. Very interesting.
Yeah, I read
He's
Journey
got
of Soul.
he's got several of them.
Yeah, and that one. And when he talked, because I'm a beekeeper, so when he talked about the beehives, I was like, what? Like, this is wild. How a hive is your soul family.
Wow. Interesting. Excellent. Thank you. Let's go on over to Jimmy before we are out of time. We are out of time.
Thank you, Thomas. A really good one. Thanks for the Eagles one earlier. I got this one off the guitar players, 270,000 of us around the world that are on the same forum together. And it's the message from Shawshank Redemption, which tells us, get busy living or get busy dying. That's from the man that brought the library books around.
Nice.
I want to be busy living every day. And if we go out and live every day with the knowledge that we have and the hearts that are in place with us, we're busy living. And whether it's nutrition, whether it's warmth, whether it's people around us, what a great story about the brothers connecting, earlier today, and everyone that has shared with it, because it was really a great day. And I want to thank you, Thomas. It was a great day.
Well, thank you, Jimmy, especially for that last comment about Shawshank Redemption. That's our last sentence. It says, when you put your attention on the caterpillar's true self taking flight, as the butterfly, right? Get busy living, right? Instead of the opposite. So thank you. Great ending. Great words to end on. Shawshank Redemption.
Did we happen to talk about the Shawshank Redemption on Tuesday night?
I think we use that movie is pretty powerful. We've talked about it, I think.
Okay, maybe I need to watch it then, because if we talk about it, maybe I need to watch it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. It's a powerful movie.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, well, we're way out of time, way over, but that's okay. There is no time. And Catherine Ann, are you ready to maybe give us a 2 minute? Okay.
Actually, I had a comment first.
Yeah, good.
About that last sentence. Okay. We were talking about the birth contractions, and I'm thinking that the caterpillar is the living in the illusion, and that we need the crucifixion in our life, or the birth contractions, to break that open so the butterfly can emerge, which is a different frequency and a different experience of reality.
Nice.
So we have to break open the shell of the caterpillar, which is living in the world of illusion, which is our beliefs.
Yes. Yes. It's our personal self.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what a beautiful analogy. The butterfly's beautiful colors, and it's free. It's flying. It's going wherever it wants to go. Yeah. It's landing on flowers. It's doing whatever it wants to do.
Okay. So settle into your heart and ask for the awareness of your butterfly to be made known to you. Whether you physically or spiritually experienced it yet or not, it doesn't matter. It's still there, embedded and engaged within you, ready to come forward at the most appropriate moment. Allowing all of your DNA and your heart and your guides and the councils of light and all that are working with us on this ascension path to help you free yourself from any lower frequency and any judgment, blame, projection, what we've been discussing in this chapter. Ask yourself, give yourself permission to be extricated, to be freed from this in whatever pace and manner is most appropriate for you, so that it becomes an easy flow, organic process of unfolding who you are as the butterfly. And just sense into your wings and your profound wisdom that is going to carry you into flight. So be it.
Beautiful. Thank you, Catherine Ann.
Mhm.
When you were speaking that Elton John song about butterflies are free to fly, fly away, bye, bye. There's the rock and rollers know this stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you, Catherine Ann, for that beautiful ending attunement.
Mhm.
Thank you, everybody, for all your contributions, making this what it was. I love you all. See you next
Thank
time.
you,
Thank you all for
Thomas.
being here. Thank you, Thomas.
Yay.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great week.
See you, Suzanne.
Yep.